Community leaders and council chairmen from Charanchi and Batagarawa local government areas of Katsina State have entered into a peace agreement with a group of armed bandits in a bid to end violence in the region. The meeting held on Saturday, November 8 in Woma town of Kofi local government was attended by traditional rulers, local government officials, and representatives of the forest-based Fulani community. During the talks, one of the bandit leaders declared that the insurgents were willing to abandon attacks and kidnappings, claiming their actions were driven by political manipulation. The government made us to do it, they said, but now they have asked us to stop. By God's grace, we have stopped from today, the speaker said, adding that true peace depends on the sincerity of Nigerian leaders. The development follows remarks by Kaduna-based Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, who argued that bandits were acting out of revenge rather than malice. Gumi urged the Tinubu administration to engage in dialogue and rehabilitation efforts rather than relying solely on military force, stressing that reconciliation was key to lasting peace in northern Nigeria.
Very shameful.
What do you have? What do you make of this?
It's very, very shameful that a country would now depend on making peace with non-state actors before they could exist. It's very, very shameful. I can't believe that we're in Nigeria, that militia, terrorists are the ones giving condition for peace in Nigeria. That's very shameful. The government at all tiers, the federal, the state, the local government had failed. Now, what you just watch, what you see happening, will be a more encouragement to those terrorists to continue to operate. To the extent where they could come in an open place, had such kind of meeting and no attack was meted on them. They had free discussion with the people, giving even the people condition. I read that even the local government chairman was right there seated.
Exactly.
That's shameful. What is the guts? How would even the community, how would the people feel when their life is now dependent on the terrorists to either allow them live or kill them? That's exactly what it means. So how long shall we continue like this? And I think that it is high time that the federal government started thinking of getting this Gumi. What is he doing?
The question now will be, who is Sheikh Gumi? What is his role? What is his interests? Right? Yes, probably at some point, federal government decided to negotiate with bandits. In the first instance, I have a lot of questions swirling around my head. How did he know where they are, who they are, and all that? Don't forget that the Zamfara State governor gave I've watched two different interviews by him. One, he gave to an international television station, and one, a national television station, where he openly confessed that they know who the bandits are, they know where they live, they know their families, they know everything about them, that they live amongst them. Then the question, why can't you arrest them? Why can't you do anything about it? You say that they know where they live, but they cannot do anything about it. Make it make sense to me. And guess what? He's also pushing the blame back to the federal government, because he's saying he's not in charge of the military. He's not in charge of the police. So
now the issue is that what do they now do with the security votes that they collect? Go to the budgets. If you see the humongous amount
because the
of money,
more the states, the more there is insecurity in a state, the higher the security.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And Nigerians are not even looking at this perspective.
These monies that have been given to them,
the state
both
governors,
the state and local government, what are they doing
for
with
security
the security votes? For Christ's sake, what is even the federal government doing? How can you be playing with people who are killing you, and you are negotiating? Is it possible you negotiate with your enemy? Somebody you know that is killing you, and you are negotiating with him freely. What is the reason for the negotiation? How long shall we continue? This thing has been there for who knows how long. Most of the politicians in the north are the ones who even have these guys as their own private securities because of the gold mining and other businesses they are doing. And today the thing has skyrocketed. It has increased to the extent that they can no longer control it. If you see the crowd of these guys when they are coming out, the crowd, most times they attend public functions, weddings. Openly. And you see the millions of young men carrying a gun as if they are even in the army, wearing military army uniforms. And these guys have aids. They get their aids. People even land from with choppers and all that to give them aids and all that. So what is the country doing? I am so ashamed of what is happening. Even if I'm not a supporter that American government should issue threats and just come into the country and all that, but it is high time our country and leader begin to see how he negotiates with the American government to fight. We can't live like this.
Now, the question is, there are a lot of questions in my head, and I'm glad that we're having this conversation, and I'm having it with you, Dr. Kingsley Akumefile. Now, there are a lot of questions begging to be answered. When you talk of the federal government doing something, the humongous security votes being given to the governors and local government chairmen in these insecurity-prone areas, one would say to a large extent, is there political will to implement?
Okay.
Is there political will to implement? Let's look at the treatment of the federal government, you know, how federal government and security operatives treat these people as against how they treat ordinary Nigerians. I'm using that word, ordinary. Now, it is on news and on record that some of these arrested, you know, bandits are rehabilitated. The military, I've forgotten one of the operations the military called it, gave it one name, Operation so and so, and they have been rehabilitated and reintegrated into the society, even among the rank and file of our security forces. I mean, the records are there, where terrorists are rehabilitated and reintegrated. And the military wonders that there is sabotage all the time. That is number one. Number two, Femi Falana has come out to call out Ali Modu Sheriff on his activities with the Boko Haram, how Boko Haram helped him to come back as the governor. You understand? And how everything escalated. There are persons in the corridors of power that have been implicated. I mean, even their comments on social media, Nigerians don't forget. They have started digging up their comments on social media and tagging President Trump and tagging different international bodies and persons to look into the persons of, you know, to look into this political class. So one would say, is it that the federal government cannot, or is it that the political will to do it is not there because of certain powers that be, that in one way or the other may be directly or indirectly tied? I also came across a document where names of certain persons were mentioned, their links to sponsors, their links, names that we know. I came across that document, and you know, I was like, oh, interesting. So, Kingsley Akumefile, why are we shielding these people? Why are we protecting them? And why is it that the government does not want to do anything? Is it lack of political will, or is there something bigger that we don't know?
You know, this is a security matter, and there are a lot of things that they do in secret when it comes to security matters, and that is the reason why most persons are not braced with the things that they are doing when it comes to security issues. Ordinarily, what we see today in this country is very shameful, like I said. The government is not doing enough. They've not even done anything. As far as I'm concerned, if the government start going after most of the names that have been implicated, there could be some sort of leeways to getting to the end. But you know these persons, a lot of names have been, you know, published and all that, yet nobody had arrested them. There has been no interrogation and all that. So it gives these guys the impetus to continue to do what they are doing. If these guys come up publicly attend functions and nothing is done. Most times they spend hours in those functions. Nothing is done. Nobody comes after them. It gives them more power, you know, to begin to parade themselves like they are now the gods of the land. They now own the land. And government at every level is sitting idly, doing nothing, watching this kind of thing. My dear sister, I don't just understand what is happening. But I think that the government can do something. And they know what to do. But the will to doing those things is the problem we have. Like you asked about the political will. The will to stopping these guys is the reason I can't just explain. When he started here in the South, somebody will go commit atrocity and all that. At the end, they gave them amnesty. Sent some of them abroad, whether they actually attended the school or not. I don't know. Started paying them money, monthly stipends and all that. I queried that process. And before you know it, these people now fight. So if you can do this to these people, then we know that we even have, let us, you know, they have strengthened their own arms and become bigger, bolder, stronger than the people. None of those actors, political actors who brought these guys to limelight can question them today.
But it has evolved from Boko Haram to ISWAP.
Yeah, it has gone far. Now they have international connections, and international support, aids, and all that. So it has gone very at this level where they are now. You can imagine that they used to have choppers drop and all that, drop ammunition, everything for them. Some NGOs, in the name of NGO, come with planes, bring weapons, bring everything. In the name of that, coming for it. A lot is happening.
And
they're doing their business steady.
Our airspace is so porous.
Very porous.
Now, one will start questioning Nigerian Air Force. The question is, are we even asking the right questions? And are Nigerians scared to speak out? Are we asking the right questions? Now, for a community, for two communities and local governments to have an open negotiation with the bandits goes to show loss of confidence in the government,
Sure.
Loss of confidence in the system, loss of confidence in the security apparatus of the nation, right? That they are now at the mercy of terrorists and they are willing to negotiate for their lives because the system has failed them.
Completely.
Now, this brings me to the story of a young man in Adamawa State who disarmed bandits that came to his farm and ended up, you know, they fought. He disarmed the armed bandit and killed him. And he was sentenced to death. He appealed, and at the appeal court, that death sentence was affirmed. He also appealed to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court upheld the death sentence. Meanwhile, that was committed on the ground of self-defense, which even makes me start asking about what exactly is going on. Have you ever heard, Dr. Kingsley Akumefule, that any of these armed bandits that have been arrested, according to the news and what they tell us, have been successfully prosecuted? Give me one example of one successful prosecution of one armed bandit or terrorist.
The reason is this, like I said when we started, that security is a very delicate matter. And there are issues that are not put to the public. The Nigerian government had told us that they had, prosecuted several of them, and judgments have also been given in, but they didn't mention names. But for me, no matter what they say, no matter the number of persons they had told us, they had prosecuted and all that, I think they have done nothing. They need to work. Nigerians are tired of what is happening, not only in the northeast now, it is a general issue to Nigeria. Almost everywhere. Today, the north central, people no longer live there, especially Plateau and Benue State. In the east, there is problem. And there's everywhere in Nigeria there is crisis. And as we continue like this and nothing is done, a time would come when even us here who feel we are safe here won't be safe any longer. Because, okay, for example, the threat that America had just unleashed on Nigeria, The information we have is that most of these terrorists and bandits are beginning to relocate. And nobody knows.
Chad has closed their borders.
Good. Nobody knows where they are relocating to. Because we don't have that strong security base here in the country. And so people will now, you know, go to any place they like now. Before you know it, they build their stronghold there and begin to unleash mayhem on Nigerian people. I think that the government, I lack words exactly on this security issue. I lack words because it's something, I'm not a security expert, number one. Number two, it's also a delicate matter. A delicate in the sense that you don't know what you will say. But the only thing I think I should say is that Nigerian government can do better than what they are doing. This is not right any longer.
You know, the thing is, when we keep saying it's a delicate matter, security issues are delicate. How delicate is the Nigerian life?
It's a delicate matter because your life is important.
But then, is my life important?
It is.
Well, you are saying that my life is important to you, to the federal government, to the state government, even the local government. Is my life important? That is exactly the point. Because if the lives of these communities in Katsina State, it's important, I don't think they will stoop so low to, you know, broker peace deal with bandits, the same people that have killed their parents, killed their wives, their husbands, their brothers, taking their farmlands. I mean, entire communities in the north have been taken over. Entire communities.
They do not have option.
And that's the thing. So if the government considers their lives important, I don't think they will be doing this. So when you say my life is important, I'm wondering to the federal government, you know, how important is my life exactly? How important is the life of the next person exactly? The lives of cows. I watched an old clip of what transpired one time in the Senate, where senators, Nigerian senators, were actually arguing with regards to the life of Nigerians. And one senator at some point had to stand up to condemn that literate senators cannot come and support and make reference or infer, you know, covertly or otherwise, that animals have more value than human lives. I watched it, I cannot quote exactly. I watched it and I saved that clip. Probably one day I will play it on this program. A day is coming where we'll remind the government all the years of negligence of human lives in this country. I will play it I will do a documentary. I think I'm going to do that. Do a documentary on Nigerian security system and what the federal government has done so far, and play it so that even the federal government, I mean, they need to wake up. They need to wake up. Why does it have to take President Trump to tweet for the Nigerian system to start waking? Why does it take President Trump to do a press conference for Nigerian system, federal government, to suddenly start running helter-skelter? Why? That's why I asked, do we matter at all in this country?
The truth, Loresha, my dear, is that, like I said, my life is very important. Every Nigerian person's life is very important. We provide our securities ourselves in this country. If you don't have your personal security, your life is at risk. And so what is the government doing? By right, they swore an oath to protect lives and property. And so in this country, that oath that they swore is no longer working. And so Nigerians now, we feed ourselves, we provide our water, we also protect ourselves. And so that's the extent to which we've gotten. And that's the reason why I think that it is not shameful that the people of Katsina are asking for peace deal with this guy. Because over time, they've seen that the government has failed them. Nobody protects them. They no longer go to farm. And these are predominantly farmers. People who feed themselves with farming. Nothing is happening any longer. Almost every day they run from one IDP center to another. So how long will these persons live in IDPs? how long? Those IDPs, are they even safe there? They are not safe. And so if they had discovered over time that the country had failed them, they would have no option than to resort to making peace with these, their killers.
And most times it doesn't work. Is this the first time?
And let me shock you, that is even the worst thing to do. Because now they live in the mercy of those guys. And there is nothing the local government can do.
Now, the local government that went for this peace deal is the local government chairman trying to tell me that money will not exchange hands.
No, that is
in order to, maintain peace in their community. So now, technically, they will be funding them.
Let me also let you know
even
this.
More.
If you look at this now,
I forgot to mention. You know that when I was watching some documentaries and I spoke to some of I do have some family members in the north, by the way. They said, particularly in those rural areas, they pay taxes to bandits to harvest.
That's exactly what
they pay taxes to oh God! Let me show you. You recall the Yewata massacre that lasted for hours. They put SOS call out to the military for hours. That massacre lasted. The military did not show up.
I think the federal government also need to question the state governor. The local government chairman cannot do that without the knowledge of the state governor. It's not possible.
Of Katsina State?
It's not possible. You can't do that. The moment a local government chairman does that without the knowledge of the governor, the assembly will suspend that local government chairman. The government will ask that he should be suspended immediately. Because why would the local government chairman go and sit in a peace deal with his killers, those who have terrorized you for so many years?
Compromising the position of the state.
No, it therefore means that there is no government in that particular place.
And secondly, by this act, they have accepted defeat.
Long ago, that's the reason why the community people had to ask for this.
All right.
And it also means that the local government chairman's life is not safe. Because this guy can come anytime and kidnap him and ask for money. In fact, they've opened another channel of business, because any of the officials of that local government can be picked anytime and they'll ask for...
Hold that thought, Honorable, because this brings me to the next story. Please hold that thought, because yes, like you said, this has led to another opening of their business.